You can blow up a faceless channel with just one video. I know that sounds like I'm exaggerating, but if you look at any successful channel, you can see it's just one or two killer hits that make their channel take off. And in several instances, it was their very first upload. Take Isaac, for example. His very first upload crossed 600,000 views and monetized his channel right off the bat, got him a ton of subscribers, and basically made his YouTube career take off. And he's not the only one. Channels like Super Prime, Productive Peter, Fun, all went viral with their very first uploads. And in today's video, I want to show you how you can steal their strategy. Because after studying dozens of these viral hits, I've noticed that every single killer video follows the same framework. And I am going to break down that framework for you step by step because I don't want you to grind for years trying to get your faceless channel off the ground. If you implement these steps, you can very easily create that one video that changes everything. So take notes because we are starting with framework number 1, finding a killer video idea. Your video idea is everything. If that is weak, no fancy title, no thumbnail, no flawless script can save you. But if the idea is strong, even an average video can take off and grow massively. That is why if you are just starting out, you should spend 80% of your time finding that one killer idea. For that, we'll use something called the flip method, which is my go-to system for reverse engineering viral ideas in any niche. Starting off with the F in flip, which means finding outlier ideas. Look for videos that clearly pulled in more views than their channel average. Once you've installed this Chrome extension, you'll notice the small bubble below each video. And this bubble score that you see 1.2, 1.3x basically tells you the outlier score of that video. The higher this number is, the bigger that outlier is. I would recommend focusing only on videos from the last 6 months or so because anything older than that might be too outdated. And once you've gathered a solid list of outlier video topics, it is time to look for the L in flip, which is looking for patterns. Start analyzing this list and ask yourself, are there multiple creators blowing up with similar ideas? Is there a topic that keeps showing up in different variations? If yes, that is a strong signal. It means a large part of your audience is already interested in a particular topic that multiple channels have covered. For example, in the self-help niche, I have noticed that several creators are pulling in massive views for this particular topic. How to never get angry or bothered by anyone. That is a repeat winner. And that's exactly what you are also looking for. Once you find this list of repeat winners, now is the time for I in the flip. Innovate the hook. Most creators tend to slip here because they copy a proven idea without changing the angle, which makes them kind of blend in instead of standing out. So what you want to do instead is reframe this idea with a fresh, emotionally charged hook that makes your video stand out enough to gain traction. To do that, all you need to do is head over to ChatGPT and use this prompt. I've also shared it in the description. Just add your topic, hit enter, and ChatGPT will generate 10 emotionally charged unique angles for that particular topic. Pick the one that feels the most irresistible, and if nothing excites you, you can continue to ask ChatGPT to generate more angles till you find one that sticks. I personally really like this variation. Never let people control your emotions. Later in the video, I'll also show you how you can refine this title even further. Now for the final step of the flip method, which is proof checking on YouTube. This is where you check the viability of your idea. After you've done the research, after you find a list of ideas, you fine-tune those to find or create an idea for your own channel. You're going to basically take the angle that you most liked and search it directly on YouTube. If somebody has already made a video around that exact angle and it has performed well, that's a green light for you. Now, if there are no results, it is either an untapped gem or a weak angle. So don't blindly chase originality. Use your instincts. Ask yourself, would you click on that video if you saw it in your feed? And once you have an idea that is both fresh and proven, you are ready to move on to framework number 2, making click-worthy titles and thumbnails. As Mr. Beast rightly says,
at the end of the day, if they don't click, they don't watch. And that, like, you can make the best content ever, but if they don't click, you're dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good your video is. If nobody clicks on it, nobody is going to see it. So once you have locked in a strong, unique angle for your video, your very next step is to create a title and a thumbnail combination that people just cannot ignore. And to do that, we'll use a simple 2-step formula that we and the top 1% of YouTubers use consistently to create click-worthy titles and thumbnails. Step 1 is your title. Your goal here is very clear. Show the viewer exactly what they'll get by watching your video. What problem are you solving? What transformation are you offering? That is something called your functional benefit, and that should be reflected in your title. If the viewer reads your title and immediately knows what's in it for them, you've done this right. And then step 2 is your thumbnail, which is where your emotion comes in. Your thumbnail should visually show the feeling behind the title, whether that's fear, whether that's curiosity, surprise, relief, excitement, whatever that feeling is, you need to be able to convey it visually in your thumbnail. Let's go back to our earlier example, right? The title tells viewers exactly what they'll get. A method to stay calm no matter what happens. That is the functional benefit. Now, if you look at the thumbnail, it uses a simple before and after split. On one side, you see somebody who's angry and tense, and on the other, that same person looks calm and composed, completely in control. And by the way, this is all done through stickman animation. That visual contrast instantly grabs attention. It makes them believe that they too can become that calm, that emotionally stable person. That is exactly how this formula works. Your title shows the value up front, and your thumbnail brings the emotion to life. And the good news is you do not need to do this all by yourself, because you can use AI, you can use ChatGPT to simplify the whole process. Here is a prompt that you can use. I will type in my topic, which I got from step 1, and then I will mention the functional benefit, which in this case is learn a proven method to stay calm, confident, and fully in control, regardless of what others say and do. And then I will tell ChatGPT what emotions I want the viewer to feel. I want the viewer to feel empowered, emotionally unshakable, and confident in every situation. No one can upset them again. You just put in these details, you hit enter, and ChatGPT will help you generate multiple title and thumbnail ideas, which can help you create a compelling packaging without you having to do everything from scratch. The catch here, though, is that even the best packaging will not matter if your viewers click on the video and drop off within the first 20 seconds. And that is exactly where most creators fail. They simply are not able to hook their viewers long enough to keep them watching the video. And this is where framework number 3 comes in: writing engaging scripts. Now, 95% of your viewers decide whether to keep watching or to click away in the first 15 to 20 seconds of your video. That is why you need to grab attention instantly. And the easiest way to do this is just by following this 4-part formula. Number 1, click confirmation, which means that in the first 5 seconds, you repeat keywords or phrases from your title and your thumbnail to reassure the viewers that they're in the right place. This is why it is very important to create your thumbnail and your title first before you start writing your script. For example, at the start of this video, I said, yes, you can blow up your Faceless channel with just one video. And then I backed it up with real examples. The second thing you want to do here is create a curiosity gap. Basically, after reassuring the viewer that they're in the right place, your next job is to spark an intriguing question in their mind so that they want to stick around to find the answer. So coming back to the topic that we're talking about in this video, never let people control your emotions again. Here is how I would introduce a curiosity hook, right? Now, most people think that the secret to emotional control is to ignore what others say, but that's actually the reason that they lose control faster. And this instantly sparks a question in the viewer's mind. Wait, if ignoring doesn't work, then what does? And am I doing it wrong? And the only way for them to find the answer to this question that sparks in their mind automatically is to keep watching. After this, you want to build credibility. In one clean sentence, tell the viewer why they should trust you. For this same topic, you could say something like, I've used this exact method to help several of my friends and family members stay calm in situations where they used to lose it instantly. And it works every single time. You could do this by telling them about the effort that you've put into this video. You could tell this to them by giving them proof that this concept works. There are multiple ways to do this. Essentially, what you want to do is just tell them that you are trustworthy. Convey that to them. Build your credibility. And once you've done that, you finally want to give them the roadmap. Quickly tell them what is coming in this video and why it is worth their time. Something like, in the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the exact 3-step process that will stop other people from hijacking your emotions, and by the end, you'll know how to stay calm no matter what happens. That way, they know the journey ahead and the payoff up front. Now, you don't have to use all 4 of these intro elements every single time, and you don't need to follow them in the exact order. Think of them as tools that you can mix and match depending on the topic that you are making your video on and the style of your video, of course. But there is one non-negotiable. You want to keep your intro punchy and get to your first main point quickly. The quicker you deliver value, the more likely you will have people stay till the very end. Now, once your intro hooks your viewer, it is time time for the rest of your video to keep that viewer engaged till as long as you can. And to do this, one of the easiest hacks is to start with your most surprising, valuable, or emotional point up front. So after your intro, you want to have something that you know viewers will not have heard of earlier. Because when you open with something that's obvious, they might have seen in 10 other videos, that is the fastest way to lose viewer interest. To make sure that your script is packed with value, watch the top 10 videos on your topic and jot down 5 or 6 common points that each of these videos have. If multiple creators are giving the same advice, there's a good chance it is genuinely valuable and worth including. But do not stop there, because if you're just repeating what everybody else is saying, like I said, why would anybody watch your video? Remember, we want to make a killer video. So dig deeper, go through the comments, try and find unanswered questions if there's confusion or doubt in people's minds, and then use those to build your script. Those are the gaps that you can fill to make your video even more impactful than the last video on this topic. Your goal when you're writing a script is super simple. You want to make the best video on the internet on that topic. The one that leaves viewers thinking like, this video answered everything that I wanted to know on this topic. Now, all of the steps that I've shared so far will make your video highly informative and valuable, but you don't want it to feel like a college lecture either, right? So, which is why you need to make your content engaging and memorable, and the best way to do that is by weaving in personal stories. So if I'm creating a video on never let people control your emotions again, I could share a time when somebody's comment completely ruined my entire day, and then I would tell them exactly what I did to stop that from happening again. Stories, personal anecdotes make your advice feel real, relatable. It just makes your video richer. And with that, we move on to framework number 4, because once your script is logged, it is time to bring your video to life. And trust me, your visuals, your voiceovers, all of that is just as important as your packaging and your script. Unfortunately, most faceless creators get this part wrong, and it ends up killing their video, their watch time. Because when you're on camera, your expressions, your gestures naturally keep people engaged. But when you are a faceless channel, your visuals, your sound design, your music, all of them have to do the heavy lifting. So framework number 4 is to nail your visuals. How do you do that? You front load your best visuals, right? Think of the first 1 or 2 minutes of your videos like a movie trailer. If the visuals look flat or basic at the start, viewers instantly assume the whole video is not worth their time, even if your script is amazing. So take the most striking animations and edits that you've made for your video and place them right at the beginning. If you want to do fast cuts in your video, the first 2 to 3 minutes is the time to do it. The next thing you want to do is use high quality animation styles or high quality graphic. I would not recommend going for the outdated whiteboard animations because they're not working well anymore. Use more dynamic styles like 3D animation, anime, or if you're into self-help, stickman animations work really, really well. Whatever style you choose, make sure it matches your audience's tastes and the tonality of your content. After that, you want to go ahead and match your visuals to your voiceover. And I think this is very, very important in faceless videos, because if you're saying something and something else is showing on screen, that causes an emotional disconnect for the viewer, and they lose track of either what you're saying or what you're showing. This is why every clip that you use in your video should reinforce what you are saying. If you're talking about staying calm under pressure, show a visual that instantly conveys that feeling as opposed to just showing like a random thing on screen. And on top of that, make sure you change your visuals every 6 to 10 seconds. Holding the same shot for too long kills retention. You zoom in, zoom out, text on screen, transitions, all of that to keep the energy in your video high. In general, on YouTube, energetic videos will perform better because they're able to retain viewers for longer. And it's not just enough to use visuals, you also want to use your background music and your sound design strategically. Think of your background music and your sound effects as a part of the storytelling narrative that you have. Start with something bold, dramatic to grab attention, soften it during explanations so the focus stays on your words, and then bring the intensity when the story takes an emotional or dramatic turn. Let the music guide how your viewer feels at every stage. And basically, when you follow all of these 5 things, you end up giving your viewers a stunning audio-visual experience that makes them want to stick around. Now, of course, editing these videos can take hours, sometimes even days. So if you want to speed things up, you can use a tool like InVideo AI, because it can turn just one prompt or a simple script into a complete YouTube video, complete with visuals, voiceover, background music at the click of a button. And now you can even have your own avatar in your video cloned and use that to create face-based videos from a simple text prompt. I have explained exactly how this works in this in-depth tutorial, so I highly recommend that you go check this out next. And I am going to see you guys very, very soon in the next one. Bye.